Danica Patrick has once again found herself at the center of controversy after making a bold statement that has ignited a firestorm of reactions. Known for her outspoken nature, both on and off the track, Patrick's latest remarks, touching on high-profile figures such as Anthony Fauci and hot-button cultural debates involving transgenders, have drawn intense scrutiny. Supporters are rallying behind her unapologetic stance, while critics are voicing their disapproval, accusing her of fueling divisive rhetoric. This isn't the first time Patrick's opinions have stirred debate. Her past comments on topics such as the handling of the Los Angeles wildfires and fairness in women's sports have also sparked significant backlash. As a figure who has never shied away from expressing her views, Patrick's words continue to fuel heated discussions across social and political circles. Just a few days back, Danica criticized California's government response to wildfires and a pointed critique of Governor Gavin Newsom, whom she referred to as Newscum. Additionally, she has voiced support for banning transgender athletes from competing in women's sports, citing her own experience as a female athlete in a predominantly male-dominated sport. Danica Patrick, the former NASCAR star known for her outspoken political views, has once again found herself in the spotlight after a controversial Instagram post. Patrick publicly endorsed former President Donald Trump's decision to revoke the security detail of Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading infectious disease expert during the COVID-19 pandemic. In her Instagram stories, Patrick shared a news article about Fauci losing his security detail, adding the bold caption, "Damn right." Fauci had originally been granted security protection in 2020 due to the numerous threats he received while serving as a prominent public health official. Trump, when addressing the decision, stated, "No. You know, they all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security." Patrick's endorsement of this move has ignited a firestorm of reactions, with supporters and critics weighing in on her stance. This latest post underscores Patrick's growing political presence, particularly as a vocal supporter of Trump during the 2024 presidential election campaign. Last year, she made headlines by announcing on Jesse Watters' Primetime that she would be casting her first-ever vote for president in 2024, firmly stating that it would be for Trump. Patrick described the vote as the vote of reason, believing that Trump's leadership could make America greater than it's ever been. Beyond endorsing Trump, Patrick has taken to social media to advocate for policies that align with conservative values, including her strong opposition to mask mandates and vaccine requirements during the pandemic. She has argued that such measures infringe on personal freedoms and has frequently questioned the credibility of public health officials, further fueling controversy. As expected, Patrick's post triggered intense debate across social media and news outlets. Critics quickly condemned her stance, accusing her of undermining the safety of a public servant who played a critical role during the pandemic. Many argue that her comments contribute to the divisive political rhetoric that has plagued the nation in recent years. On the other hand, Patrick's supporters have rallied behind her, praising her for standing firm in her beliefs and aligning herself with Trump's policies. Her vocal support for conservative views has been consistent, as evidenced by her previous criticisms of Democratic-led policies. Notably, she has been an outspoken critic of California Governor Gavin Newsom, taking to X to challenge his administration's handling of the Los Angeles wildfires and calling for his resignation with the derogatory nickname Newscum. Patrick has also weighed in on cultural issues, strongly opposing transgender athletes competing in women's sports. She argues that her own experience in a male-dominated sport highlights the physical differences between men and women, aligning closely with Trump's campaign messaging focused on gender and fairness in sports. Despite the backlash, Patrick remains steadfast in using her platform to champion conservative causes, further solidifying her status as one of the most politically outspoken figures to emerge from the world of motorsports. Patrick's political activism isn't limited to social media. She has attended several Trump rallies and appeared at conservative conferences as a guest speaker. Her speeches often touch on themes of patriotism, self-reliance, and a belief in limited government intervention. These appearances have further cemented her status as a prominent voice within the conservative movement. Patrick's latest comments reinforce her controversial public persona, drawing both admiration and criticism in equal measure. Her legacy in NASCAR has always been a topic of debate, with some celebrating her role in breaking barriers for female drivers, while others question her on-track performance. Regardless of opinions, her impact on the sport's marketing and media presence is undeniable. While Patrick's racing career was met with mixed reviews, she successfully leveraged her fame to build a powerful brand and influence beyond motorsports. Her shift to political advocacy demonstrates her willingness to engage in public discourse, no matter how divisive her opinions may be. In addition to politics, Patrick has expanded her brand into wellness and fitness, writing books and launching a successful health and lifestyle brand. However, her outspoken political views have created tension with some sponsors and former racing colleagues who prefer to keep politics separate from their public image. Patrick's influence within Trump's base continues to grow, making her an important figure in conservative circles. Whether viewed as an inspirational trailblazer or a polarizing figure, Patrick's voice remains relevant in today's socio-political landscape. Ultimately, Patrick's willingness to embrace controversy ensures that she will remain in the public eye for years to come. Whether she continues down the path of political advocacy or shifts her focus back to business ventures, one thing is clear: Danica Patrick is not afraid to speak her mind. Danica Patrick's outspoken political activity has significantly impacted her status within the NASCAR community, both positively and negatively. While she was once celebrated as a trailblazer for women in the sport, her recent ventures into political advocacy have shifted public perception and potentially alienated portions of the NASCAR fan base. NASCAR has historically maintained a delicate balance between the sport and political discourse, often striving to appeal to a broad demographic of fans with diverse viewpoints. Patrick's vocal support of controversial political figures and policies has disrupted this balance, placing her in the crosshairs of both criticism and praise. Her endorsement of Donald Trump and strong conservative views have resonated with a segment of the fan base that shares her beliefs, further solidifying her appeal within that group. However, her stance has also created divisions, with some NASCAR stakeholders, ranging from fans to sponsors, distancing themselves from her due to the polarizing nature of her remarks. From a sponsorship perspective, Patrick's political involvement presents both opportunities and challenges. Conservative-leaning brands may view her as an ideal ambassador, tapping into her influence within right-leaning circles. Conversely, mainstream and progressive brands that once associated with Patrick during her racing career may hesitate to align with her due to the risk of alienating a wider customer base. This divide mirrors the broader cultural shift in sports sponsorships, where athletes' political stances increasingly impact their marketability. Within the NASCAR community itself, Patrick's political activity has further distanced her from those who prefer to focus solely on racing. While NASCAR as a whole has embraced patriotic themes and national pride, it has also made efforts to diversify its fan base and attract younger, more progressive audiences. Patrick's outspoken views on issues such as vaccine mandates and transgender participation in sports place her at odds with NASCAR's attempts to foster a more inclusive environment. Her political pivot has also affected how former teammates, competitors, and industry insiders perceive her legacy. Some insiders view her activism as a distraction from her contributions to the sport, arguing that her platform should focus on inspiring the next generation of female drivers rather than engaging in divisive rhetoric. Others, however, respect her right to voice her opinions, acknowledging that her influence transcends motorsports and has become part of a larger cultural conversation. In the long run, Patrick's shift toward political advocacy could cement her as a key conservative influencer rather than a retired race car driver. Whether this transition will enhance or diminish her standing within NASCAR circles remains to be seen. Nonetheless, it is clear that her outspoken nature continues to make waves, ensuring that she remains a relevant, if controversial, figure in the public eye.